Hey guys, let's talk about how to deal with this changing world that's headed your way. More when I return on the Eric McNeil Be Free Show.
Black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Hey guys, welcome. You've just discovered the Eric McNeil Be Free Show, where it's all about being financially independent, responsible for self, enjoying life, and empowering others free. So today, I want to talk to you briefly about the changing world that we find ourselves like in the middle of. And what prompted this, I made a couple videos here over the past few days. One of them was about the death of the petrodollar. And if you didn't see that video, check it out. I'll put a link here. I don't know if it'd be here, it'd be one of those places, but you'll see the link. And then the next video was basically saying that things can get pretty bad in the U.S., okay? And you'll also see the link up here. So yeah, so I made those videos, and I got one of my YouTube subscribers had left a comment because in the video about the petrodollar, I didn't paint no rosy picture of the future. And so his comment was like, so everybody just jump up and leave the country, then what? Are there jobs in Africa when people get there? Do people need a stream of income? Do they need to learn the language? So many things is needed before one jump and move to another continent, Eric. And my reply was that you are absolutely right. You need to have a plan. And you hear me constantly telling people what is potentially coming their way so they can begin planning. Because just imagine if you are forced to leave and you have not made any plans. When migrants were forced to flee Europe to America, most of them were not coming to jobs or a comfortable lifestyle. They were coming to escape disease, famine, and certain death if they remained in Europe. Now I want you to hear me. Like when you hear me talk about, hey, guys, consider leaving. Doesn't mean that everybody's going to jump up and leave. But I'm giving you an option, telling you that there's an option, it's possible that you can make it here. I've come here and I'm making it, and there's a lot of other people who are making it. And they didn't necessarily do it because it was comfortable, because they just absolutely wanted to do this, but a lot of them seen what was coming where they left from. And they said, whoa. Now, granted, some of them, many people just came because they wanted to be here, but a lot of people came because they sensed something bad was coming to the home that they were leaving. Now, so that brings me to talk about change. Change. If you've ever read this book called Who Moved My Cheese? Book came out in 1998, and it was written by Spencer Johnson. Who Moved My Cheese? If you haven't read that book, I encourage you, go read it, listen to the audio book or whatever. This is a short book. But essentially, the book is about change and how to deal with this change. And I'll just give you a brief summary. that in the book you have these four characters. There's these four characters. Two of the characters are mice, and their names are Sniffy and Scurry. And then you have these two people, and they're little people, right? They're about the size of mice, but they're actually people. And their name is Hem and Haw. So these four characters live inside like a maze, like a train station, in a maze. And every day they go and eat cheese. Like, that's what they do. The mice go and eat their cheese, and the little people go and eat their cheese. So basically, the cheese is kind of a metaphor for what they enjoy in life. Like, your cheese might be different from my cheese. Like, you hear people say, man, I'm gonna go get that cheese. I'm gonna get my cheese. They talking about money. Maybe they talking about a good job. Maybe they talking about marriage. Maybe they talking about career. But I don't know, whatever your cheese is. Every day they go and enjoy their cheese, right? So at any rate, the humans, the little humans, Hem and Haw, they got these very analytical brains, things. They have to overthink a lot of things, So, with all that cheese there, they just decided to settle. They built their house near the cheese, and every day so they go enjoy the cheese, so everything was built around the cheese. Whereas in Sniffy and Scurry, Sniffy and Scurry, they don't overthink things. They just see it for what it is, and they just deal with it. Sniffy, he sniff out the opportunity, and Scurry go right on. You don't overthink. They don't get too complicated. So it's no surprise that they noticed the cheese diminishing. Sniffy, they didn't settle around the cheese and say, I'm going to be here permanently and I got to have, no. They see it things for what they are. And they noticed the cheese was diminishing. And when the cheese ran out, they was gone to find them some more cheese. They didn't. But on the other hand, when the cheese ran out, well, Hem and Haw, they decided to make a big deal out of it because they didn't realize cheese was running out, and they hadn't built their entire lives around this cheese. So, you hear them hollering, who moved my cheese? That's him, analytical. And, he's like, man, ain't no way somebody took our cheese. Who moved our cheese? Right? So that's their attitude. It was like, man, we got to find out who moved our cheese, and how, it's like, well, him, Sniffy and Scurry, they got on to find some more cheese, and we're not going nowhere. That's him. We're going to find our cheese. They're going to bring it back. We're going to find it. Who moved my cheese? So they just hemming and hawing, that old expression, hemming and hawing. And that's what Hem and Haw did instead of trying to go find some more cheese. And all this time, Sniffy and Scurry gone through the maze to look for more cheese, and they done found more cheese, and they over there enjoying. While Hem and Haw back here waiting for somebody to return the cheese, and think that because they coming every day and hemming and hawing about it, that somebody's going to eventually return that cheese. And this, my friends, is what's happening to a lot of people in the West now. The West is diminishing. No matter how much you hem and haw about it, no matter how much you dislike it, the West is diminishing. They are moving the cheese. The cheese has been depleted. Now they just kind of kicking the can down the street, as I said in the previous video. But it's, like there's a story that I saw where they're talking about California plans to issue inflation relief checks up to $1,050 to like millions of their residents. You hear that? and I just posted, I posted it on my Facebook page and just said, now imagine that they are creating inflation to try and deal with inflation. So they're creating more inflation, and I got a chuckle out of that because clearly there's problems. There's serious problems. And does this mean that it will be easy to just, I don't know, relocate with your family? No, it's not going to be easy. And it doesn't even mean that everybody has to relocate. There's a lot of things you can do. My point is that you have to prepare. Whether you decide to relocate to Africa, to Brazil, to, I don't know, wherever you want to relocate to, or if you just decide to just relocate out of the city, out of these large cities in the U.S. and go to the countryside and find some people, get some land and start growing your own food. I'm saying prepare accordingly. Prepare, right? I know everybody can't just, up and move to Ghana, but I'm making videos about that because obviously that's where we are. That's where we're stationed, and we have the solution with, our development here, migrating culture crossing. So we're saying, hey, this is how we're preparing. But you better have some kind of plan together. They say those who fail to plan are planning to fail. So if you just kind of letting this stuff go in one ear and out the other and thinking that, oh, it can't happen here, this is America, it can't happen to us. Okay, you live long enough, and see, so yeah, at some point we have to realize that the people have moved the cheese. These elites are moving the cheese. Now, will America just disappear, crumble? Likely not. But you just imagine an economy that is used to being the number one economy in the world, going to no longer being the number one. What if they just cut? They say, okay, we just need to cut their budget 40%, 50%, or whatever. Do you know how much chaos will happen? It doesn't mean that it's still going to be a lot of people making money. I guess if you don't get taken out by this change, then yeah, you end up being one of the people left that's making money. Once everything that went through this chaotic stage. But do you want to take that risk? That hey, I'm going to be here during all this chaos. I don't know what's going to come on the other end. You don't know if you're going to be one of the ones to make it through or not. Yeah, if you make it through, yeah, you good. But you're still going to be in this kind of Orwellian type society that they're building for people. So, but at the end of the day, guys, I'm just saying, prepare yourselves accordingly. Don't get caught up thinking that it can't happen here. It can't happen here. Those are the famous last words. Well, we didn't think it could happen. Eric, it just came out of nowhere. Well, there's no food in the stores. And I just thought you go to the grocery store every day and there was going to be some food there. I went to the grocery store and everything was empty and they said that they can't deliver no food. What are we going to do? I don't know what you're going to do. I've been telling you, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years that the cheese was being depleted, They done moved the cheese. But who moved the cheese? I don't know who moving the cheese. It's not me, I promise you. I just see the cheese just vanishing. And so I act accordingly, I don't overthink it. I'm like Sniffy and Scurry on this one, I'm pretty analytical. And but on this one, I was like Sniffy and Scurry. I just decided to remove myself and come find some more cheese. And, and we found more cheese. And so, yeah, so we over here eating some cheese, and you guys, don't realize your cheese vanishing over there. So, at any rate, I just wanted to share that with you. If you like what we're talking about, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment, and let me know, do you see the cheese vanishing? And, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and hit the website, www.migratingculturecrossing.com, and take advantage of our half-price home promo, where you can buy any of our floor plans for a 50% discount. If you pay everything up front, you're willing to wait 3 years for delivery. We are building one of the most unique, sustainable, and self-sufficient, communities in Ghana, right? Very unique, sustainable community in the eastern region of Ghana at Somanya. So you can also find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Eric McNeil. It's free. And as always, hoorah, ahuru. Now be free.